Today concluded fall camp for us. That was 18 practices. We had 3 goals going into fall camp. Number 1, it was hard. Number 2 was embrace your role, put the team first, and number 3 was believe in us to become the team of teams. Number 1, by a measuring stick, this was the hardest camp that we've had since we've been here. Combination of heat, good on good periods, number of live tackling situations, and I think our guys really responded really well. Just finished a 2-minute, 4-minute deal out in the stadium in the heat. Very impressed with the energy those guys had, the effort they had, and so really proud of them for that. 2 was embrace your role, put the team first. The last couple of days we've made some adjustments, started using some show teams. Guys had to get used to it. I thought the effort's been extremely well on both sides. I think our show teams are going to give us a great advantage because of the way the guys are playing with great effort and the talent they have on both of those. And this is the deepest team we've had. We've got a lot of talent and a lot of depth, and so I'm excited about that. We've got to continue to embrace it. And the last one's believe in us, believe in our potential, unity over self. And it's not about anybody else but the people in this building, in this room, believing in what we can do and what we want to accomplish this year. So by all intents and purposes, we accomplished those goals. The goal of training camp is to get yourself prepared for what's next, and I feel really comfortable with us being prepared for the season that lies ahead, and that starts with our preparation for UCA tomorrow. So with that, I'll take the first question on the quarterback.
Somebody's got one.
Guess not, never mind. Okay, asking questions.
I guess I'll be the one to do it. How do you evaluate Bo and Sam's entire fall camp, I guess?
Yeah, it's been something that's kept me up every night and keeps, wakes me up in the morning. I think those guys have played really good, both of them really well. In fact, the 2-minute, 4-minute just kind of sealed it in my mind, like, my gosh, these guys both can play at a high level and win. So what that means moving forward, I don't know yet. I just got off the field today, but we'll start UCA prep tomorrow, and we'll have a decision and talk to both those guys here in the next 24 hours about what we're going to do and make sure the team's comfortable with the plan moving forward, and we'll let y'all know.
Well, you mentioned how difficult it'll be to tell one of them that, the other one is the starter. With how good that they performed in fall camp and how much effort they put in, how much more difficult does that make it?
Yeah, you wish it was easy and that there would be, something definitive that you could point at and say, hey, this was the reason why, but it's not going to be the case, so we'll figure it out from there. That's what they pay me to do. They pay me to make tough decisions, and that's what I got to do.
Just to clarify, you said you'll decide in the next 24 hours what you're going to do. You mean against Central Arkansas, or you mean you're naming a starter?
I mean, what we're going to do. Oops. Yeah.
All right, okay. Well,
given what Bo's role was at Penn State last year, is there a world in which you both have a regular role for you?
Y'all are into hypotheticals now. So we'll know in 24 hours what we're going to do.
Coach,
we'll come back to it, but we don't really need to read any more into it. Then we'll make a decision in 24 hours, and we'll let everybody know. If y'all want to write a headline to get yourself more likes or whatever on Twitter, that's fine with me. But
What's the headline?
Drinkwitz unsure after 18 days.
how many other spots on the field do you feel like you're still kind of not 100% locked in what you want to do, come the opener?
None. I think we're feel very confident in the plans we got. I think we're really confident who, there's some positions that 3 or 4 people are going to take, linebacker, you could be a 60-40 split. There's so many good players, maybe 50-50. There's going to be packages where, hey, this guy's getting more reps, and D tackles are going to rotate through. It may be 50-50. So, I don't think we're settling in on 22 total players. I think we know exactly where we think who can help us win and what that role looks like moving forward and how we start planning for that.
Coach, I believe one of the requirements you had said to play quarterback here was leadership. After these 18 days of fall camp, where have you seen Sam and Bo perform in that regard?
Yeah, I thought I challenged them after Saturday's scrimmage, and I think, man, they've been really the best they've last 3 days. You know, even yesterday, we were doing an end-of-game scenario, and Matt threw a game-winning touchdown to Mucky, and the first two guys in the end zone celebrating were 21-9 racing down there. So I think those guys have displayed a elite level of leadership, and the last 3 days really embraced that it's quit making it about them, make it more about the team, and I feel very comfortable with both those guys.
Eli, with outside of quarterback, what are some things you've learned about your team over the past 18 days?
Yeah, I think they're tougher than I expected them to be honest. I think they're more resilient. You know, last Wednesday we simulated a two-a-day at the end of what would have been execution week. We had never done that before. We'd only done a certain number, and we decided let's see if we can break them, and we couldn't. I mean, those guys they chewed it up and spit it out pretty easily. I mean, I was very impressed with that. I think the consistent energy they've had at practice, no matter what the scenario is, they find a way to be energetic and excited about the opportunity to practice. And I think that's a direct reflection of the competition. If you have a bad day, you're gonna get passed up, you know. And so I think they've all had to bring their A game every day.
I want to ask you about this group of captains, obviously more than you've had in your time at Mizzou here. What stands out about this group of 9 guys?
Well, I think it was just there was a clear separation between those 4 and everybody else on each side of the ball, and so, you know, I think that just distinguished them as being guys who are captains. Obviously, there's 2 different ways to look at it. It's on the field performance and it's off the field leadership, and I think, you know, Connor's got this level of 4-year starter leadership that everybody knows nothing's really gonna rattle him. And then you got a Jalen Catalon on the defensive side of the ball that kind of has that same kind of experience. And then you got Zion Young, who, I mean, he's just got unbelievable energy, and it's an infectious personality. Same thing kind of with Khalil. I think y'all saw it yesterday with Caden Green leading Tiger Jacks. He has that, and I think it's coming out of him right now with that leadership role put on him. So very, very excited about what these guys. Obviously, Logan Mucky beat cancer, so of course he was going to be elected captain. You know, I mean, that was pretty easy.
Coach, from a health standpoint, how's the team doing?
Yeah, healthiest we've been ever out of a fall camp. Yeah, I don't anticipate a single person to be out for week 1 for injury. Not one guy on our roster. We held Greco the past 2 days just to try to get him 100% back from his hamstring. But that's it.
Curtis Spiegel or Tristan Wilson, kind of the 2 guys right now at the right guard position. You know, given that you said you pretty much know the way you're going at every position outside of quarterback, have you decided on a starter between those 2, or are they planning to kind of switch between those 2 for the first week?
Yeah. Yeah, if we started today, Curtis would be the starter, and then Tristan would come in as needed in a rotational spot. If, you know, we felt like on the 3rd series we needed to put Tristan in either guard position or a center position. So, but right now, Curtis would be our starter.
Couple more.
We saw a drill with the wide receivers blocking today in practice. How did you feel that went, and overall, how do you feel about, you know, the blocking right now from the wide receivers and skill position players overall?
Yeah, we call that perimeter drill, which is just inside drill for the perimeter side of the play. We do that every Toughness Tuesday. You know, we expect our box players to be tough and physical on the inside and run the ball and stop the run, and we expect our perimeter players to be able to set edges. We expect our wide receiver players to be able to block edges so that we can stretch the field 53 1/3 yards. So, you know, I was more involved in the BPU side of it, so I wasn't really paying as much attention to the field, but we'll watch it and evaluate it. I think in the past, I mean, obviously, I think we do a really good job blocking on the perimeter. I think that's something that Coach Peeler's always emphasized. Obviously, Ben Johnson emphasized it a little bit more, and Luther's kind of shined at it the last week, but I'd argue that he's had some really good blocks for us here too, so it's not something new to NWO.
Eli, with
Got time for one more.
Coach, number of transfers.
We'll go through.
2 more? Gotcha.
Number of transfers expected to play a big role this year. Just how would you describe the culture to this point that you've built here for guys to come in and immediately kind of be accepted and know what this is all about?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's deeper question than probably I can just answer right here. I think the first thing, is it's a brotherhood, and so when anybody walks in, you know, there's trust and respect between coaches and players, and so I believe our team trusts our coaching staff, so when they bring somebody in, there's gonna be an instant amount of respect given to them. Trust is earned through competency and character, but there's a level of respect that's gonna be given to anybody that walks in this building, because they believe that our coaches are gonna pick guys that align with the values of our program. The second thing is we have an always compete mindset, so what we bring in is inconsequential to your race and what you're trying to do every single day to be the best version of yourself. And you know, if we bring in a transfer, that doesn't mean we've promised them anything, it just means we've given everybody an opportunity to compete. So I think it takes a while to create that trust, and I for one didn't do a great job early in my tenure here creating that trust with the locker room, but I think over the course of the last 4 years, I think there's been a consistency to our approach, and I think there's been more trust and respect built, and then it goes back to core value number one, which is always compete. So I think guys know they get a fair shot when they come in and transfer, and I think the guys that stay know they get a fair shot, and I think that when the guys come in, they feel a sense of respect from the locker room that allows them to grow.
Just with Jude James, can you talk about how he's built off the sprint he had, and then how much more flexible can that make an offense when you have a guy that is capable of blocking and receiving like that at tight end?
Yeah, I think Jude's had an outstanding camp. He's been a guy that you can count on from special teams to a tight end role, to an H-back, to a fullback. So he gives Coach Moore and the offensive staff a lot of flexibility about how you want to utilize him. But I think the biggest contribution he's going to, I think he'll be a starter on 3 or 4 units in special teams, and you know, really embraces his role, and we'll do an excellent job with that. So.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
We'll
you.
have 7 in the